I'm standing here in great awe in front of the menorah in the in the Kaisel, and you can see the first light is lit. And if we look closely at the light of the menorah and the pure fire that's being drawn up from the olive oil here in the Makom HaMikdash, it makes me reflect back to what Yaakov Avinu said when he slept here more than 3,000 years ago. Ma neira hamakom hazeh, ein zakim beis Elokim. Ma neira. How awesome is this place? How awesome is this place when you stand in the place of the Beis Hamikdash, a place where the Shekhinah, where the Hashem's divine presence is meant to dwell, and you contemplate Hashem's greatness and the light that the menorah brings down. And when we look at this light, we have to be aware that this light is not like the other lights that are around here, the numerous powerful electronic LED lights that are shining onto the coastal plaza. It's very, very different because the light that's coming from this menorah, right? And again, it's not the menorah of Beis Hamikdash. It might be a kosher replica. I'm not sure if this is one of the menorahs made by the Machon HaMikdash, which, according to their claim, is kosher to be used in the Beis Hamikdash. Perhaps it is, but even if it is, it's not actually the menorah of the Beis Hamikdash, not yet. But that's the neira of the light is that actually the light which is being drawn down from the menorah. And this is true about the menorah here. It's true about all the menorahs. According to Sfarim HaKadoshim, the Rokeach says that the 36 candles, the 36 lights of Hanukkah, parallel the 36 hours that the Or HaGan is burned in this world, 1.5 days. The Or HaGan is the hidden light burned in this world before it was taken away and hidden. And what that means in essence is that the light that's coming from the menorah is the light of the highest upper worlds, right? The pure light that comes from the higher upper worlds. I'd just like to share with you today a thought that I encountered recently in the Kisvei Arizal, a very, very deep idea, which is as follows. We've spoken many, many times here about thanking Hashem when things look bad. That's the title of this series. And according to Torah Time, it's the longest running series on Torah Time. And the reason for that, the reason why I keep going is because it's an endless endeavor. It's an endless avoda to thank Hashem when things look bad. Because it's so hard. Right? Just when you thought, like, I did it, I conquered it, I'm able to thank Hashem for the most difficult and painful experiences. As I shared with you about a month ago, the incredible pain that I had in my tooth, right? And it was so great that I had tears streaming down my face in pain. Baruch Hashem, that's subsided. I'm thankful to Hashem for the end of the pain. But the place where these very, very difficult challenges come from, right, is a very, very high place in Shemayim. Right? It's the interconnection between what we've spoken about many times, between Atik and between Arich, between very, very high places in Shemayim. If you're one of the people who says Askinu Sadasim and Surah Shlishas, you say, there's a line there that says, Hayazmin Atik Yamin. Atik Yamin is the highest manifestation of Hashem's light that we're able to perceive, and that's during Friday Shabbos afternoon. It's called Raza the Raza. It's the most holy part of Shabbos. During that time, we're able to have some sort of connection with that light, and as well as on Hanukkah. On Hanukkah, perhaps we get to some extent even higher. We can connect that light, and the light we're seeing here from the candles, from the flames of the menorah, is that light of Atik Yamin. So that light of Atik Yamin is a very interesting combination. It's a combination of din, of judgment, and also of Chokhmah. These two spheres come together, of din and Chokhmah. And what the Sfarim Kadoshim say is that the din and the highest, Gvura in its highest form is something which is Tachlis HaToiv. It's very, very good. Yeah, it's very, very good. only when it comes down to this world that it manifests itself in reality. Not reality, I don't like to use that word, reality, when it manifests in practical application. Like, let's say that very, very painful tooth pain that I had, a month ago, right? Its root, as it were, root canal, right? The root of the root canal was in the highest spheres and complete chesed of Hashem. It was coming as a pure way to purify me of transgression and of all the many other averas that I possess. Coming from a very, very deep place, right, which was guided by Chachma, right? So that is when bad things or seeming things which look bad happen to us, they're really coming from the highest place in Shemayim, right? Which is the Gvuras of Atik, which are hidden within the Chachma of Arich. It's hidden within the Chachmas, with the manifestation of the Chachma Hashem, is the Gvuras. And when it comes down to this world, it manifests itself in very, very challenging situations. It might be in health, like my tooth. It might be in Shalom Bias, like the guy who came in with 2 black eyes to my call a number of years ago. It might be in Chinuch Banim. Right? We don't have to give examples of that. Right? Anybody who has children knows about that. Or it might be in Parnasa. Right? There's so many people tell me today they have so much struggle. I was on the phone with someone, one of the children of one of the Gedolim of the past generation, and he was telling me how difficult Parnasa is for himself and so many people, and how his father was so successful in collecting tzedakah for these for needy families, and he himself is having so much difficulty with this. So these 4 areas and any other difficulties we have, they descend from the highest place in Shemayim. And it's Tachlis Atov. It's complete goodness. And it filters down into this world, and we see it as difficult in Sionos. But that light which is burning here is the light of that place, right? It's light of that place. And it's called Botzina de Kardanusa. That place is called the Botzina de Kardanusa. It's called the flame of darkness. The flame of judgment and the flame of darkness. And it's a beautiful, beautiful light hidden within the darkness. And that's the light of Hanukkah. The light of Hanukkah is the infinite light of Hashem on the backdrop of the deepest darkness. And this is what our sages tell us. That Hanukkah, that Yavan was called Choshech. Right? When it says Choshech al Pnei Atom, this was Hanukkah. Because in the midst of the most difficult part, one of the most difficult parts of Jewish history, the Enlightenment, right, which the world calls the Enlightenment, when seemingly literature, art was at its height, but this is called darkness, because the Jewish people, while we are certainly allowed to appreciate literature and art, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's kosher, but when it comes to replace the Torah, then that's complete darkness. Because you could take the best written book in the world, Shakespeare, Milton, Kant, whichever literature you want to take, right? It's nothing compared to the greatness of Torah, which is infinitely deep, and is such a beautiful light in the world. So this is my first message on this first day of Hanukkah, right? To try and access this infinite light of Hanukkah, which on the backdrop of darkness, that everyone in their life has some level of darkness. Everyone in their life has a place, has a Botzina de Kardanusa, has a candle of darkness in their life. It might be their children, it might be their wife, it might be their parnasa, it might be their health. Somewhere there's a candle of darkness burning, right? And these other 7 lights, which are not lit yet, that's the Botzina de Kardanusa. And you have to light those candles, right? And in another week it's going to be Zos Chanukah, it's going to be the 8th night of Hanukkah, and hopefully I'll still be standing here and speaking to you. But this Botzina de Kardanusa, this dark candle, right? This dark candle, it's the candle, it's the light. It's the light of Hanukkah on the backdrop of darkness. And each person in their own life, according to the darkness they have in their life, can fill it up with lights. If we understand that these challenges, they come from the highest places in Shemayim, where the light is infinitely bright. right? And they could draw down through the wick, through the candles of Hanukkah. They draw that down into that life. They could fill their life with light. The most difficult challenges can become the greatest source of light and and pleasantness. We just have to work on it very, very much. Thank Hashem when things look bad. Say Koma David Rachman on the Tov of it. And Bezrat Hashem, as Mrs. Elbigan and I prepare, you did you too, which we're very excited about. And we're thinking about this. We're thinking about every one of you who has difficulties, and we want your lives to be filled with the light, the infinite light, the Botzin and the Kardusa. We want you to turn your light, your darkness into light. The Fia Rova Choshech Rovor. According to the amount of darkness in your life is the amount of light. If you're suffering tremendously, it might be a relationship, it might be your health, it might be your children, your wife, your spouse, your partner, your job, your boss, right, your workers, whatever it might be, whatever difficulties you're going through, the more darkness you have, the more light. You could turn that, right? This is the soda hipuch, right? The secret of the twist. To turn the greatest darkness into the greatest light, and that's Hanukkah. So is Hanukkah. That's Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the time we could do that. Hashem should give us the greatest yad d'shmaya to be successful in this endeavor. Amen. Kain Tiratzon.